You ready to tell hidden legacy? Oh yeah, they're ready to know. So go ahead and hit them with. Oh, and part two is epic. It confronts no whisper. So step forward and listen to the echo. Join us as we uncover the symbols, the stories, explore the mysteries, the power, and the legacy of a kingdom that is still unfolding. This is a journey where history, prophecy, power, and people converge, and the story is still being written, from ancient kingdoms to the spaces where modern voices meet. Voices that refuse to be silenced, part of a heritage that continues to shape the present. The past is not dead, it lives, it speaks. And here, we listen, we reason, we respond, and we testify. We dive into ancient truths, symbols, and signs still relevant today. The scepter has not departed, the mystery is not lost, and the kingdom, it is still unfolding, one episode at a time. This is more than a podcast, it's a return to the source. Welcome to the Scepter of Zion, where ancient truths meet modern voices. And now, to conversations, truth, and power, the scroll begins to open. And here to guide us through the gates, your trusted voice and seasoned guide, a voice for the remnant, your host, Ruben B.
Did you hear that? It has like a little groove to it. But anyway, what I want to talk about is a symbol older than scriptures, carved in stone before the kingdoms had name. What is that? What you talking about, Ruben B? Huh? I'm talking about the metaphysical meaning of a lion. Huh? Huh? The lion represents frequency of rightful power, not domination, but alignment. A lion, it doesn't roar to prove itself. Yeah, it doesn't have to prove itself. It roars to calibrate the environment to announce a vibration that says, I know who I am. Do you know who you are? Really, I know who I am. Spiritually symbolize self-knowledge as sovereignty. So when ancient cultures placed these lions at the temple gate, they weren't guarding stones, they were guarding identity, truth. What else, baby? Inner authority. Your inner self. Your God self. So in metaphysics, courage isn't bravery, it's clarity. A lion doesn't fear because it doesn't overthink the wow. You shouldn't overthink too. I know I call myself Mr. Overthinker in certain situations. But anyway, that's me, not you. It accepts nature. Fearlessness, born from alignment, intuitive confidence, acting without fragmentation, moving without apologies. Don't apologize. Unless you have to, of course. Unless you have to. So the spiritual texts, they linked us to prophets, to kings, to messengers, to guardians. They embodied the inner state where the spirit overrides doubt. So across Africa, Asia, Europe, the lion is tied to the sun. The S-O-N, not the S-U-N. Well, there's a connection there. Radiance, vital force, illumination, and consciousness. Its manes resemble the sun, fire. And metaphysically, it symbolizes the solar center of the soul. The part of you that say, I shine because existence. Place light in me. I shine. I shine. This connects the lines to resurrection, rebirth, and renewal, much like the sun rising after dark night. The guardian of the threshold, these lions. So whenever ancient knowledge lived in Egypt, Mesopotamia, whatever you call it, Persia, these lions, they sat at the gate, the thrones, the temples, the tombs, the libraries. This is a metaphysical code of transition, initiation, and a higher state of wisdom. The line appears when you're about to cross into a new identity, a new season, a new spiritual assignment. It represents the moment when the universe asks you, are you ready to live your highest version of yourself? In mystical Hebrew thoughts, the lion, the fiery aspect of divine judgment, not punishment, but alignment of order, precision, untamed power, your uncompromised truth, your ancestral memory, your inner royalty, your calling that cannot shrink. This is a part of you that refuses to lower yourself or shrink his soul. Right? African metaphysics, the lion is a spiritual ancestor in motion. A reminder that your linkage walk with you, fight for you, and rises through you. It embodies the warrior, the builder, the thinker, the healer, the leader in your bloodline. It does. Stillness, precision, power. This is spiritual formula. Move with intention. Speak with weight. Don't waste energy. Don't chase. Just attract. This is metaphysical mastery. Power that is not noisy, but is undeniable. The lion is the metaphysical signature of divine authority. Fire wrapped in flesh, surly wrapped in silence, that ancient reminder that royalty is not a title, it's a vibration. When the lion rises, the doubts, they die off. When the lion roars, illusions scatter. The spirit remembers its throne. The lion echoes the flame that guards the path of becoming. The roar that awakens the forgotten self. Welcome to the Scepter of Zion, where modern voices meet ancient futures. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come right back with some more of this good stuff. I got a good show for you. Hidden Legacies. You want to stay tuned to this. Well, welcome, 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 welcome. Shalom, family. Welcome back. Yeah, I can call you my family because you've been riding with me, hanging with me for, I think, about the last 12, 13 weeks, however long I've been out there doing this. So you keep coming back. You like what I'm saying. You like this wisdom that nobody wants to talk about, right? Everybody wants to bury it. They do. They just don't want to talk about this. So remember, this episode is called Hidden Legacy. So when you start dealing with hidden, these are unseen secrets. Right. It's cryptic messages. It's hidden. It's esoteric. But you know what? We're going to bring it right to you. We're not going to keep you in the dark with some of this stuff. It just wouldn't be right. Because in the past, it was taught openly to build a conscious mind, conscious people, a conscious society that just thrive and get along together. Everybody. You can't be hiding this stuff. Disguise it up and present it in another form to where it doesn't make sense to people. Right? We bring that, we exposing this and put it on exhibit. So welcome back to the Scepter of Zion. Where the past rises, the stone speaks, and the truth walks out of the shadows. Man, don't you like that? We walk out into the opening. So like I said, today we're going where historians, they don't want to talk about this. They don't want to cover this. So we're going to, you know what, we're going to go back just a little bit from start to dive into these hidden legacies. A trail of wisdom carried by our ancestors. You have these big empires. I won't name them, you know who they are. But they buried this knowledge or this wisdom. And then when it started coming out, they branded it like they did it. You know, they just think nobody would find out or think that nobody would stop to ask a question. Some of this information was just, it was hunted by kings and kingdoms. It was like, I gotta find this. That's what that movie of the Raiders of the Lost Ark was about. Some of the stuff I'm about to cover. See, they write movies and do movies about hidden knowledge, about societies that were really, really advanced in wisdom, in knowledge, in consciousness. So we're bold enough to seek it, to speak it, and to share, because that's what we do. We love you that much. We want to share. We share around here. So this is a story of Jerusalem, however you want to call it. Jerusalem. We'll go with Jerusalem. Africa, Iberia, the Moors, and listen closely, the Knights Templar. Do you know where I'm going with this? Some of y'all might know where I'm going with this. So this is kind of the birth of the secret societies in order of Europe. But secret societies existed way before these Knights of Templar. I'm just going to cover these guys. You know, the one y'all call Jesus, Yahshua, he was in order. It's in the scriptures, but you don't know how to read it or find it, or no one can teach you that or show you that. But he was in order. Yeah. Maybe one day I'll cover it and show it to you where you can see it, and then I will provide information so you can go back and research it for yourself. So ride with me on this journey of this scattered wisdom. So to understand anything that happens later, the Moors, the great cities of Al-Andalus, the Knights Templar, and the rise of the Freemasonry, we must start with a catastrophic world-shifting event. One that scattered a nation and its knowledge across continents. Ask yourself, why was this knowledge in this area is so important that it creates such a catastrophic event in 70 CE that is still shifting the world today. That's the question. But anyway, the year is 70 CE. Rome lays siege to Jerusalem. The city falls. The temple, the heart of Israelite worship, mathematics, astrology, astronomy, priestly knowledge is the key. Knowledge, priestly knowledge. Sacred ratio, healing traditions is burnt to the ground. Now, I told you before, one of the reasons that they burn this knowledge down, these buildings down and tear them down, they don't want you to have that knowledge. They hide it and keep it for themselves. It's really a money thing, a control thing, a power thing. It's an ego thing. But back when I talked about the Moors earlier in 711 CE, they didn't have any ego, right? They were walking encyclopedias. They wanted to share this wisdom and knowledge worldwide, in Europe, then worldwide, all over the planet. Because what it does, it builds a society of confidence. It builds a society of conscious people that want peace. That wants peace. So, the house of Yehuda, Judah. Judah is scattered. Judah is scattered. Do you know why? Of course I know, but I'm probably going to share it in one of these episodes, either here on Hidden Legacies or Hidden Legacies Part 2. There's definitely going to be a Part 2. Why the house of Judah is so relevant right now. Right now. So the house of Judah is scattered. Families, they flee in every direction. Some go into the Arabian Peninsula, Egypt, up the Nile. Some went west to Libya, Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco, and across to Iberia. This is the beginning of a long journey. A journey of a people, the Israelites. Carrying this ancient knowledge in exile. And wherever we went, our learning went with us. Temple, geometry, medical knowledge, calendar or calendar, or however you say it, astronomy. The writing of Enoch, Solomon, and the prophets, and the memory of divine architect, the blueprint of the first temple. Rome destroyed these buildings. But what they couldn't do was destroy this knowledge. They couldn't do it. Yeah, it's just a physical structure. You go ahead and tear that building down, whatever you do. But like I told you earlier in another episode, that we were walking encyclopedias. After 70 CE, North Africa became a refuge for the house of Judah. became a refuge. These African nations, right? These dark-skinned people, we were already connected with them through trades, right? Migrations. It was already, our ties were already there, our ancient ties to Israel. They were there already. We were family already. We were just dealing already. Made the whole area rich. Made the whole area knowledgeable of wisdom. So over generations, they merged with the Judean refuge, forming communities that preserved this Torah tradition, Hebrew linguistic elements, sacred architect, and advance in astronomical systems and agriculture. So, we were very important, or the African Israelite community was very important, very essential in shaping Iberia. That's right. Very instrumental. While Western Europe fell into chaos after Rome collapsed in 476 CE, the true libraries of ancient civilizations survive elsewhere, preserved by Judean Israelites, Syrian scholars, African kingdoms, Arabic-speaking philosophers, and Greek-speaking centers in Byzantine. I think I said that right, Byzantine. So when the West forgot, Africa, the Middle East, and the scattered Israelites remembered. And this is the knowledge that will one day be carried into Spain. That's Iberia, basically, Iberia. So in the year 711, African-led armies crossed the Strait of Gibraltar. Hey, they were under an African general by the name of Tariq ibn Zayed. So these group of people that came there, Africans, Israelites, Arabs, they became the Moors. That's what they became. So the Greeks, the Romans, called them barbarians. Even though they were walking encyclopedias, they were scholars, philosophers, mathematicians, doctors, engineers, they were all of this. So the Romans, the Greeks, decided to call them barbarians because they were dark-skinned people. But in reality, Europe, they had never seen anything like this before. Because they were building, and they had built a civilization that had thrived for 700 plus years, teaching wisdom, knowledge that will make their land, their people, to be successful, to thrive. The knowledge that they taught was so incredible that all of Europe gravitated to it and learned from it, stole from it, put their name on it. And from this fusion came a land called Al-Andalus, the land of the Vandals, or the land beyond, land of the setting sun, depending on the linguistic route you choose to follow or you follow. That's what it is. The land of the Vandals. But whatever the meaning, Al-Andalus became the intellectual heart of medieval Europe. Then in the last episode, we introduced the four great centers These were not just Islamic civilization alone. It was a multicultural coalition. African, Israelites, Arabic thinkers. The Christian scribes, they came later. All learning, all contributing to build one civilization. Cordoba, the knowledge of flame, 10th century. Cordoba became the first great learning capital of Europe. Cordoba was the brain of civilization. Then came Toledo in the 12th and 13th century. The translation of English from Hebrew into Latin, see? From Arab into Latin. From Arabic into early Spanish, Castilian. Yeah. See how it was just a big learning center so that you can thrive and learn and just be educated. Then came Seville, the art of the sacred architecture, in the 12th century. Mathematical architect, tower designs, urban planning. Then Granada, the last light from 1238 to 1492. It was the final sanctuary of the Moors' wisdom. Hebrew metaphysics, poet inscriptions, music, sound science, sacred geometry, spiritual philosophy. This is the last flame before the 1492. Extinguish the light in Iberia. But here's where the story turned, because while this knowledge shines in Iberia, something else was happening in Jerusalem. A group, armies, warriors, monks, seekers, who carried temple knowledge into Europe's shadow. And their fate will change the world. Hey, if this episode stirred your spirit, if it opened your eyes, if it helped you see history with a new understanding and divine clarity, then don't let the journey stop here. Make sure that you follow the Scepter of Zion on every platform. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, YouTube. Share. Okay, share. This is the Scepter of Zion, where ancient truth meets modern voices, where stones speak and where history returns to its rightful owners. I am your brother, Ruben B. So the next episode, the Knights of Templar, the Builder's Guide, and the birth of Freemasonry. It's a story of secrecy, of course, survival, and stolen legacy. As we continue unlocking the hidden past and revealing the truth of our identity and restoring the legacy they tried to erase. Until then, stay strong, stay seeking, and stay in the light of Yuhei. Till next week, shalom.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Scepter of Zion. If something stirred your spirit, sparked a memory, or whispered truth into your soul, don't keep it to yourself. Share it, speak it, walk in it. We invite you to invite others into the conversation, into the unfolding. This is more than a podcast. It's a movement returning to the root and rising with the call. Until next time, hold the line, guard the flame, and never forget who you are, because the kingdom isn't coming. It's already here and rising, one voice at a time.
been listening to the Scepter of Zion, a Kingdom of Shalom production. Subscribe, share, and join us as Zion rises again.